President William Ruto has defended the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NG-CDF, and pledged to reinstate the fund. To make this happen, the President is proposing the review of the law governing CDF to align it with the Constitution. This after the Supreme Court declared it unconstitutional as it interfered with the structure of disbursement of funds in the government. The President also proposed the creation of an oversight fund for senators to enable them effectively monitor the use of billions of shillings going to the devolved units. Chimtai Goin has more details next.
During his first appearance before members of the bicameral parliament, President Ruto moved to address the fate of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NG-CDF, which was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court on grounds that its provisions violated the principle of separation of powers and appear to create a different level of revenue sharing.
I know the contribution to the National Government Constituency Development Fund has made in making life better for our citizens.
President Ruto comparing his tenure as Eldoret North Member of Parliament, where he served a term before the establishment of the CDF and 2 after the fund's establishment, saying it had contributed greatly to transforming the lives of many Kenyans.
Having served in Parliament for 15 years, before and after the establishment of the National Government CDF, I know the difference it makes is monumental. I believe there is a way CDF can be aligned to the tenets of the Constitution.
And to also appease the Senate, whose bid to have an oversight fund had been frustrated by the National Assembly, the President proposed the creation of a fund to aid them adequately monitor the use of funds deployed to the counties in light of rising cases of misuse and plunder of public resources.
I also hasten to add that both houses should also be adequately resourced for oversight duties. With regard to the Senate and its constitutional mandate, I believe the 2 houses should work together to set up the Senate Oversight Fund. This will be used to provide oversight of the millions of resources that are sent to counties.
His other legislative agenda include a push for the amendment of the standing orders to admit cabinet secretaries to respond to questions raised by the MPs on how the ministries were being run and on emerging issues. This is adopting the practice by the 10th Parliament, where every Wednesday afternoon, ministers would come before the floor of the House and members would pose questions.
They just need to amend, and they are here, standing on number 253 on admission of strangers to the House, so that when cabinet secretaries appear, because they are appearing before the people's representatives, it's a very good way of being accountable to come and explain what it is that they are doing in their respective dockets and to respond to other concerns that members of Parliament representing the people have about the affairs of the country.
The speech, though termed short and full of promises by many legislators, was lauded by others.
What I like about the President's speech is that he has really captured what has been ailing this country. Our tax infrastructure has been wrong from the get-go. We take our taxes from mwananchi when he's going to work, as opposed to waiting for them to go work, and then we charge what they have worked and we charge the benefits that they've made and the profits that they've made.
The only admonition I want to give is that we should not save from the infrastructural development projects. Let every ministry find money from the recurrent budget that may be overburdening Kenyans and refocus on the development of the Republic of Kenya, because we are looking at how we are going to spur this economy. Otherwise, the President is so right that we cannot continue borrowing so heavily and having such a huge budget that we know very well as a country we can't be able to fund.
We also want to probably ask the president to also look at the issue of the women fund, because that is where the bigger base in the counties and the constituencies are always there.
It was a very popular speech. By the end of the day, the implementation on how it is what was lacking.
A disappointment that was very big was the president's lack of emphasis on how do we make devolution efficient and effective. Because some of the issues that the president is talking about that he was grappling with, trying to solve, for instance, the issue of water, the issue of health care, these are issues that are in Schedule 4. Schedule 4 is very clear about issues that have been devolved to county governments. And these devolved issues are struggling because the national government is not empowering devolution.
Asking the ministries to look for a saving of up to 300 billion shillings in this year alone, while at the same time he is not making any mention of how to deal with corruption, which we know is the single largest source of wastage of public funds.
The sessions of the 13th Parliament will kick off Tuesday. In what appeared to be trying to ensure his speech was in touch with the reality on the ground, President William Ruto challenged the august House to ensure that they support his bid to review some of the laws to support some of the campaign proposals he made while he sought the people's support. Chamutai Goin, Citizen TV at Parliament Buildings.